Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Walt's Classic Studio, a Disney-owned studio. Now, you may be asking yourself, what makes this a classic studio? Well, not to brag, but we filmed a lot of classic Disney films here. One of our most notable, Pete's Dragon. Now, before we get into the crazy part of this tour, I want to talk about our quite humble beginning. It actually just starts off here with this simple podcast table. Believe it or not, but this very studio actually started off as a podcast studio. My great-grandfather actually interviewed Walt Disney himself. They did an 800 episode podcast, and it wasn't until their 700th episode that they finally took off. Now, we obviously still don't need this here, but we have it there almost just as a little subtle reminder, just to remind us not to take everything we have for granted. If even one of those mics were to go missing, we would all be very devastated because we like to hold on to those things. Now, other than that, our whole crew has agreed one of our favorite pieces of equipment has to be the apple boxes. These right here are the apple boxes. Now, there's a lot of uses for them, but the funny thing about them is there's no specific use. For an example, I often use the pancake to step on top of it to get just a little bit higher, especially if my legs aren't in the shot. But other than that, there's not any specific use. But yeah, the pancake has to be my favorite. One time I actually did lose it, and I was very, very devastated, and a lot of people, to be honest, got mad at me. So thankfully, we've gotten all the apple boxes back, and we're all happy now. Now, we're gonna get a little bit more serious in our control room. Now, one of our biggest issues in Walt's Classic Studio is our cybersecurity issues. A lot of the times people like to pirate our movies, and I just think that is horrible. And often people try to release our movies early and threaten to do that. Thankfully, there's one thing stopping that, and that is the wonderful people who work here in our studio. We have them constantly working on the computers just to make sure our cybersecurity is the best it can possibly be. And thankfully, out of our whole town, we are the one place who still hasn't gotten fully hacked. Now, before we completely end our tour, I want to show you one last thing, and that is our flats. So our flats are what basically make up our set. They're just these pieces of board, but it's very fun when we have people over because they like to sign our flats. It's not even just for the actors, it's honestly anyone. If this was an actual tour where you guys were actually here, you guys could probably sign the flats too. But anyways, we have people who sign the flats, and it's just a nice way to show that you've been here. Now, we've been through a lot. We've had hurricanes come through, and I've actually worked here for a long time and experienced a lot of the troubles. I've worked here for about 18 years, and although I've had my fair share of troubles, thankfully, I'm still standing.